Lots of mothers postnatally are concerned about two big issues with their bodies. One is back pain and trouble with their posture. After coming out of pregnancy and the changes of posture that happen during pregnancy, your body needs to adapt and align itself back into its original state, and sometimes that needs a little bit of help. The other issue is the abdomen and the abdominal muscles, which become quite heavily stretched during pregnancy and need to find their way back again. This is actually a single issue. The two are very related. The reason why we lose our posture during pregnancy is partly because of the weight and the change of centre of gravity. When I say lose our posture, it's not a bad thing in the pregnant state. It's only a bad thing if it continues after the birth. When the belly grows, it stretches the abdominal muscles and the abdominal muscles become weak. And this causes the pelvis to become aligned differently. It releases the pelvis to the back and it causes a greater hollow to appear in the lower back. And this is just part of how the body adapts to changes during pregnancy. The problem with this is if it is allowed to go too far and if it's not restored after birth, it can lead to long-term back problems. So, when looking at your posture, it's really important to start by looking at how you do things on a daily basis. So, Tadasana is the practice in yoga of, or just standing, we sometimes call it mountain pose. Find your feet, keep your feet nice and square, facing forwards, your knees facing forwards. There should be a line from your hip bones to your knees to your ankles. Everything's nice and straight. Lift up your toes and plant your feet on the floor. What you should feel is the weight going through your heel down this side of your foot and across the ball of your foot. So there's a nice spread of your weight through your feet. Lean forward, see how that feels. Lean backwards and see how that feels. And there will be a difference. Now the problem that we have is that postnatal mothers release their lower abdomen and they develop this deep curve in their low back. And pregnant women carry their belly like that quite often, and this is why pregnant women get backache. It's really useful in pregnancy as well to be aware of your posture, and though you are going to get that curvature and you are going to get that drop, you can limit it so that it doesn't need to become a problem. So as a postnatal mother, you need to find your posture again, get into that posture, straighten yourself out. You don't want to hyper-tuck your pelvis, you want your pelvis to be flat. You're pulling in these lower ab muscles here as though you were putting on a pair of jeans and zipping them up. So there is an intention here. We're not being tense, we're just keeping them lively and active and being aware of these muscles. And that will stop the excess dip in the back. You then need to stand tall, roll your shoulders and relax. Check in with your posture on a daily basis, on more than a daily basis, on a very regular basis, and that will really help. But if you're suffering from a weakness in your lower abdominal muscles, it's going to be quite hard even to do that posture and certainly to maintain it for a long time. So I'm going to show you a couple of simple ways that you can help to wake up these muscles postnatally and start to draw them back into their non-pregnant position and build a little bit of strength. None of these exercises should be attempted before 6 weeks post-birth, and this should be after you have seen your doctor to make sure that you are safe to continue with an exercise program. So the first exercise, we're going to be lying on the floor, on a mat preferably. Bring your heels up close to your hips, but not too close, so we've got a little bit of space. Flatten your shoulder blades to the floor and just make yourself comfy. I'm now going to take hold of the knees. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to breathe in and push my knees away a little bit and breathe out and hug my knees to my belly. Now as I do this, I'm going to be drawing in my lower abdomen, so actually using these muscles to push the air out as I breathe out. So breathe in and push away, breathe out and draw them towards them. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. When you've been practicing this for a little while and you've started to build some strength, you can then move this into the next phase, which is simply to straighten your feet towards the ceiling. So the soles of your feet face the ceiling, and just hold this, maybe just for one breath, and then coming back, and again, breathing in and out, in and out, and then maybe taking it up again and holding for a couple of breaths. This doesn't look like a very strong exercise, but it's actually quite intense.